Okay, I'm here with Audra Brown, Memphis Legend. Audra,
Hey, what's up, Mark?
so I've been using one of your songs for the theme on my new Memphis recordings on the YouTube.
Okay. What song? A good one?
The scratch version demo of Medicated.
Oh, wow, so the best.
Well, I don't know if it's the best or not, but it's the best of what's never been released, I think.
Hot take, Mark.
You don't have to be smart about it. So tell me how it was recorded.
How it was recorded or how it was written?
How it was recorded.
Was this recorded in Nashville?
It was.
So this one, we hung out in Nashville for a few weeks, and this man named Chris Sunday, who had allegedly was part of Finding Nirvana or something, back in the day. He had all these guys that owed him all these favors, and he believed in this music, so he was like, I'm gonna call all these guys, they're gonna do me these favors. I got a guy that's gonna put bass on it, got a guy that's gonna put drums on it, I got a guy that's gonna put, record it and make it sound good. And so it was just kind of like a string of a million dudes that Chris Sunday knew coming in and out of the studio to put all these different tracks on it. So it really was pieced together, over, I'm sure, a week with a bunch of different people over a bunch of different days.
And what I remember is that they could never get the drum part right. You used a bunch of different drummers.
That is true. Yeah, he had a vision for it. And I feel like that vision was more Dave Grohl, but, some of these guys were pretty busy.
Dave wasn't available, I think.
Yeah, he called him. But, it's fun to have a 15-piece kit and be all over the place now for a drummer, and that's not what he was looking for.
Interesting enough, another one of Chris's bands, the Kings of Leon, were recording that same week. And I remember them talking in the studio about the song called Sex on Fire that they were recording. Everybody was very excited about it.
Well, yes, that's true. And now Kings of Leon has since blown up and then kind of gone away, right? It's been that long ago. They were huge.
Yeah, they won all those Grammys and then disappeared, right?
I think that's true. I think the singer went through some stuff. He was maybe his own kind of person in not the most stable way.
Yeah. So how did you write this song?
Well, I was young, and my parents took me to all these, doctors, because they were like, God, she's so fucked up. And so these doctors were like, you're right, she's so fucked up. We really need to put her on all this medicine. Really, I was just like sneaking out of the house and maybe like getting high and stuff. But apparently that was not good. So I was on all of this medicine, and I felt like it was so much. I was on like an antidepressant, and I was on an antipsychotic, not an antipsychotic, it was an anti-seizure medicine that's like prescribed to bipolar people. And then, I was on Adderall, and then of course I couldn't sleep at night, so I was on all this medicine. So then they had me on a sleeping medicine, and it just, and an anti-anxiety, it was so much. I think I was on like 5 different, mood altering medicines. And so I decided I would write this really punk rock song to talk about how oppressed I was in my comfortable middle class home where I got all of this medical care from my parents.
So tell me about the guitar riff, which is what I really think carries the song.
I feel like I'm sure I just was trying to imitate, what's the one that everybody learns how to play? Smoke on the Water or something. I was just playing around,
Was a brilliant riff. People are still talking about it.
I like the guitar lead part kind of mid-song, and that's the part that Chris Sunday kind of, we'll try this and do this. And I always thought he added some cool stuff to it.
What guitar did you use for this recording?
I don't know, but I would think that it was my red Les Paul.
Anything else you want to talk about this song before we play it?
I'm sorry, y'all. I was really young. My parents were really nice.
I have one question. When we got with Cody Dickinson to record those songs later in Memphis, how come y'all didn't record this song?
I don't know. Maybe it felt like because I was like actually a young adult that a song that when I was 14 maybe seemed too far away, right? I think all the other songs were they were more recent for sure. This was probably the oldest punk rock song I ever wrote that held up in any way.
Yeah, I always wondered that because I thought Cody Dickinson on the drums would have been really good.
He's a good drummer. Definitely not too much.
Great guy. All right, let's play the song. Thank you for visiting with me, Audra. We'll talk to you again sometime.
Thank you, Mark, and I love your show.
Please subscribe.
Oh, yeah. Like and subscribe, everyone.